Shalom, shalom, kulam. Shalom, how's everyone doing? And so, welcome everyone who's here now and those who will join later. Baruch haba b'shem Yahweh, blessed is the one who comes in the name of Yah. Amuziyahu ben Yehuda of Beney Yisrael AASH, Zedekiah Da, but Beney Yisrael AASH for short. All right. The last video I did, we just did something to talk about the Melanated Gentiles. Today, I'm just going to briefly go over Japheth, Genesis 10 Gentiles. Okay, let's do it. All right. All right, let's get into it. You give me 1 second. Let me make sure we're good. Make sure that we're good to go. All right. All right. Actually, hold on 1 more second. Let me do something real quick. All right. All right, there we go. Let me make sure you can hear me. There we go. All right, there we go. Let me make sure you can hear me. All right. There we go. All right, here we go. So this is Beney Yisrael AASH studies. We're going to go over Japheth, Genesis 10 Gentiles. All right. First, I'm going to give a quick review of what we did on basically the first video of the Beney Yisrael AASH studies series. This will be the second video. The first one was called Melanated Gentiles. For those who have not seen that video yet, I'm just going to give you a quick review of what I went over. So you have Melanated Gentiles. All right. And this is from Genesis chapter 1 through 11. We're starting from Adam all the way down to Esau, right? If the premise is any nation outside of Israelites or Israel is Gentiles, right? If we go with that, then that means that Jacob's name was changed to Yisrael, right? And so Jacob's sons, he had 12 sons, which means that's the 12 tribes of Israel. So that means Jacob, he's the father of the Israelites, and Jacob's sons are the Israelites. And then the sons of the Israelites would be, the sons of the Israelites. That's what you have. You have the nation of Israel. So anyone before Jacob, starting from Adam to Esau, would be considered Gentile according to that premise. But at the beginning, when you starting with Adam, all of these people, the men and the women, were melanated, or what they call black. I don't like to say black. I'd rather say melanated. So we have the melanated Gentiles. Adam, Kawah, Cain, Abel, Seth, Enos, Canaan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth. Shem, Arphaxad, Shalah, Eber, Peleg, Reu, Sharuk, Nahor, Terah, Nahor, Abram, Abraham, which was called Hebrew, right? Haran, Lot, Japheth, Gomer. Gomer had a son named Ashkenaz, you have the Ashkenazi, Magog, Madai, Javan, which is the Greeks, Tubal, Meshech, Teras, Ham, Cush, Ethiopians, Nimrod, Mitzrayim, Egyptians, Put, Canaan, Canaanites, Abram, Abraham, Hebrew, Sarai, Sarah, Hagar, Ishmael, Ishmaelites, Isaac, Esau, Edomites, right? So from Adam to Esau, the Edomites, these are the melanated Gentiles. All right. And a note, some people say that only those who can be saved is Israelites. But remember, Noah, right? Noah is not Ham, Shem, or Japheth. Noah is the father of Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? So Noah is the father of the Hamites, the Shemites, and the Japhethites. But it's stated that Yah saved Noah, right? And it was 8 souls that were saved. So you had Noah, had his wife, you had Ham and his wife, Shem and his wife, Japheth and his wife. So it didn't matter if it was Hamitic, Shemitic, or Japhethic, you know, Europeans, Afro-Asiatics, and Africans, these 3 were saved by Yah, right? So Noah was considered righteous, which is not an Israelite. He is one of our melanated Gentile forefathers. Deep, ain't it? And he's the father of Ham, Shem, and Japheth. He's the father of the Europeans, the Afro-Asiatic, and the Africans. That's pretty deep, right? And Noah, he said, blessed be Yahweh, or Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, the Elohim of Shem. And then you'll notice later on down the line, it's through Shem, you have Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Yaakov's name was changed to Yisrael. And Yisrael is the nation of the covenant that was established with Yah to bring forth his word, his righteousness, and his right ruling. But Israel's forefathers were melanated Gentiles and even the world, right? And before you have Ham, Shem, and Japheth, our forefather was Noah, who was deemed righteous enough in his generation to be saved. Him and his family, 8 souls were saved, and then Nay was the one who repopulated the earth. But before that, you had Adam, which is humanity's forefather, and Yah blessed him and told him to be fruitful, multiply, and subdue the earth. So I just wanted that to be established. And again, the question is, how did the melanated Gentiles turn white? Possible explanations. You have microevolution, right? You have, and microevolution is not macro. Microevolution, like you may have a wolf, and then you have different variations of the wolf, like dog and different things like that. But it's not a fish turning to an ape and then the ape turning to a man. Nothing like that. That's a macroevolution. We believe in microevolution and small adaptations. All right. 2, you have melanated people giving birth to albinos. 3, you have leprosy. You have partial and full skin leprosy. 4, you have 2 Kings, Gehazi, 2 Kings chapter 5, verses 20 to 27. And we can't forget, and we got to remember Isaiah 56:6, what Yah stated about those Gentiles who wanted to serve him, follow the Shabbat, follow the laws, right? Okay, again, just to review, melanated people giving birth to albinos. You see the brother, you see the nose, you see the lips, you see the hair. Even though it's blonde, even though his skin is white, he has African features. You can see he is African. He could be Afro-Asiatic too. He could have this feature. He could be Afro-Asiatic. Look how beautiful the sister is. You see that she has African or Afro-Asiatic features, but you see that she has blonde hair. You see that her skin is white. So we birthed albinos, right? But these albinos are African albinos, which birth the current Eurocentric people today. So if anything, you have melanated people, we gave birth to albinos, but these albinos were African, Afro-Asiatic albinos, which gave birth to Caucasians and Europeans today. So we have to honor our elders, honor our forefathers, and give respect and honor for those who created us, who is the foundation and the beginning of us. We should never forget that. Okay. All right. You have another picture of someone with leprosy. I believe this is a picture of a man from Eritrea. You see how his face and his ears is black, is African, right? But you see his head and his hand is turning white, right? So originally, this was a melanated person, but because of leprosy, he's turning white, but originally he is melanated. So even white people or non-melanated people, their forefathers are melanated. Their forefathers are black. Everybody comes from that, right? And you have righteous melanated people. You have wicked melanated people. You have righteous non-melanated people. You have wicked non-melanated people. For those who are righteous, regardless if you're melanated or non-melanated, will be considered allies or be considered children of Yah. If you are melanated and non-melanated and you're wicked, you will be considered enemies of Yah. All right. Again, Gehazi, cursed leprosy, 2 Kings, chapter 5, verses 20 through 27. But we'll just look at 27. So let the leprosy of Naam cling to you and your descendants forever. And he went out from him as leprous as snow. All right. Now we have Japheth, Genesis 10, a European Gentile. So, like I said, the explanations is if you have a person that's melanated, they get farther away from the sun, they go to certain locations, then their skin will get lighter. Then you have those albinos, you have those with leprosy, and you have all these different variations together. And if they stick together and they stay in one location, and after hundreds of years, and they multiply with each other, if you come back to that area, you'll see people, they might not have the prominent African albino features. Their features could have adjusted, right, to the longer nose because of the cold weather. We have bigger nose because of the hot air, the hot weather. So we have our different features is connected to our climate and to our environment where we thrive in, right? All right. So today you have the Gentiles are European, but specifically Japheth, right? So today Gentiles, specifically Japheth, Genesis 10, 1 through 5 are non-melanated Europeans today, okay? And again, here's a chart of Genesis 10, 1 through 5. You have Japheth, right? And you have the sons there. Japheth, you got Gomer. So you have Japheth, you have Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, Teras, Elisha, Tarshish, Kidam, Dodanim, Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah, right? And you see it's in Europe. All right. And that's just a bigger chart to show you that. And all right, so Japheth, Genesis chapter 1, 1 through 5. All right. And this is the genealogy of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, and Yawan, Tubal, and Meshech, and Teras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Yawan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kedem, and Dodanim. From these, the coastland peoples of the nations were separated into their lands, right? The sons of Japheth, which is considered the coastland peoples, which is considered the Gentiles. They separated into their land. So these Gentiles have lands according to his language. They have languages according to their clans. They have tribes and clans and to their nations. So Gentiles are a people. They have a landmass, they have a border, they have a location, they have languages, they have clans, they have customs, right? They have ideas, they have religions, they have culture. All right, and then verse 5 in the King James Version, it says, by these were the isles or islands, isles of the Gentiles, divided in their lands, everyone after his tongue, after their families and their nations. That's the KJV version right there. So again, you see Japheth is right there. You see it's by the Black Sea. You see Tarshish, you see Javan, right? You see Gomer, you see Ashkenaz, you see this area. You see Japheth is in Europe, right? It's in Europe. And then here's another one. You see Japheth, you know, some of Asia and Europe, you know, Gomer, Ashkenaz, right? The Black Sea, Caspian Sea. You see that's Japheth. See, Shem is down here. Shem is connected. Shem, the land of Israel, is literally connected to the African tectonic plate. So Ham and Shem share certain similar genetics, certain similar phenotypes. They look a certain way, you know, and then you have a Japheth, you have like Ashkenaz, they look like Europeans. But then you have Beney Yisrael, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel was mistaken for as Mitzrayim, right? Egypt. They was mistaken for as Ethiopians because Beney Yisrael was melanated, just like Ham is one of the melanated Gentiles. So remember, Ham, Shem, and Japheth were all melanated, right? They all were melanated. So that means the Shemitic line was melanated, the Hamitic line was melanated, and the Japhethic line was melanated, right? And here's Israel. Here's the Levant. Here's Israel area, right? The Garden of Eden started about the Iraq, Kuwait borders right here. This is Eden. See Eden. Then it curves over through the Fertile Crescent. It doesn't go into Europe. It curves over and goes into Egypt, goes into Africa. So you have the Shemitic people and Hamitic people. They're called Afroasiatic. That's Africa and Arabia together, which is one continent, which is Eden, right? This is eastward Eden. This is east. This is westward Eden. So east and west together is one continent, but it doesn't include Upper Asia and Europe. It includes Arabia and Africa. Arabia and Africa is one landmass, which is Afroasiatic. Okay, so the next thing I'll go into is Israel. I'll do melanated, Afroasiatic, Shemitic Hebrews, because we have to get this race thing out of our minds. It's not a race thing, it's the truth thing. We're supposed to worship Yah in spirit and truth. So my first video was to show you the melanated Gentiles. Then secondly, I want to show you that in the beginning, Japheth, Genesis 10, 1 through 5, all of those names, they first were melanated. And then I gave you an example how it goes from melanation to non-melanation, to white, through microevolution, through adaptation, through leprosy, through one being cursed with leprosy. And those said with Gehazi. So these are the connections together where now we have Gentiles, we have non-melanated, we have white, we have Europeans, but their source, their foundation was melanated people. Those are their fathers and mothers, right? And Adam and Kuwa, which is humanity's father and mother, they were melanated. So as we go forth, right, when they speak on Gentiles, you're going to see they're talking about Japheth. They're talking about Europe now. So we're going to see scriptures where it says that Japheth, right, has enlarged his borders in the tents of Shem. So Japheth is up here, see, right? You see Europe, Ashkenaz, Gomer, Japheth, Asia, all these places, they have enlarged their borders. That means that some of these people up here have come on down to Shemitic lands. They have now encroached and come on down to Shemitic lands, right? But that don't mean just because you live in the Shemitic land, that don't make you Shemitic. You could be Japheth. You can be a Gentile living and speaking Shemitic languages. So that would be the third video I would go over, would be the melanated Afroasiatic Shemitic Hebrews. So then as we go forth, it won't be a shock or a surprise when we say Israel is melanated, because this shouldn't be a big deal. So then we can go forth with the doctrine. We can go forth with salvation. And salvation is not just for Israel alone, but for the Gentiles who believe. Isaiah 56:6. For Yah said that his house should be a house for all nations who believe. And so I just want to say, again, here's a summary of the Japheth Genesis 10 Gentile chart, right? All right. So I just want everyone to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell of Beney Yisrael, AASH Zedekiah Dodge, the YouTube channel, right? Because see, these are the things that I want us to, these are some of the things I want us to understand. If we know the name, first we have the Gentiles, and then two, we have Japheth, who their beginning, their conception was melanated Gentiles, but then now today they are Europeans, right? And so, but Shem has remained melanated. Ham has remained melanated back then and also today. So I hope this helps. I hope this edifies. Shalom, shalom. Hold on. What's going on? Hold on one second. All right, shalom.